Okay, so this is all the way through to row 8. Just following the, I almost called the recipe, pattern exactly as it is. As you can see, it is quite small. Again, I have a really tight tension, so that's why mine is definitely quite small. If you do decide you want to go bigger after you get through the 8, if you're like, yeah, this does look small, because you can kind of imagine, this being the top of the head and it's gonna start curving here in a bit. I think you kind of can guess what you do at this point. And that's just increasing the amount of single stitches before you do an increase. So the last one was 6 crochets and then 1 increase. So this one we're going to go 7. So that means our total amount would be 54. As you can see, each row just increases 6. And that's just because you'll notice that it's the same amount of stitches we did in the magic ring originally. Everything's going to be divisible by 6. So we'll go up to 54 here. So let's go ahead and do a couple stitches here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and do my stitch marker. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, come on. There we go. Oh, sorry, that's gross. There's a hair attached. Okay, so 3. And we're going to go up to 7. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we're going to do our increase. 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then increase 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Increase 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do the increase for 8 and 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then last increase in the last stitch, 8, 9. Okay. Now, hypothetically, you can do that forever and ever and make it as big as you want. The only foreseeable thing is her placements of eyes and arms might be a little bit different than on how it works for the bigger. So you might just have to play around a little bit with that. But hypothetically, you can go pretty much as wide as you want here. I would just definitely keep track of how many stitches in the round you go to. So like now we're at 54. If you were going to go another increase, that would put you at what, 62? No, 60. I can math. I'm an accounting major. So just keep track of how many stitches you decide is the best in the round. I'm going to stop here just so I can continue the pattern. But like I said, go as wide as you want. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and do what is now our row 10, but it's that line of from row 9 to row 20 where you just do a single crochet in each stitch. So that's just exactly as it sounds. So you just go to, and I would still do your stitch marker so you can figure out how many rows you've done. Otherwise, you're going to have to go through and count each little bit, and it can get really tedious and difficult, especially with single crochets when they kind of meld together. Is meld a word? I don't know. Merge. That's probably a better one. So I did 2 stitches, so let's go ahead and golly, definitely get a better stitch marker, okay? Please promise me. Don't use pipe cleaner or flimsy straw. Okay, good enough. And that way too, you can know like where you started and ended, so you can make sure you're on the right track with how many stitches. And that's why I'm saying to just make note of how many stitches you end up going through. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, can you even see me? 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, oh, come on, 53, and the last one, 54. And you don't necessarily have to count, like, every row. It's just kind of nice to do it every so often to make sure you haven't, missed a stitch or accidentally done a double at some point. As you see, too, as you get going, you kind of lose those sharp corners from the increase. It does kind of make, like, almost like a hexagon or whatever. So the more just straight rows you do, the rounder it'll get, and it'll start kind of making that curve shape a bit. And of course you can like encourage it as you get going. So the pattern does recommend doing 20 rows, but if you do want it longer, if you get through to 20 rows and you're like, I want it bigger, especially because I made it wider, you can, again, hypothetically keep going for as long as you want. It says on row 13 to add the colored thread for the eyes, but because you are doing any increases and stuff, I wouldn't necessarily follow that. You'll just kind of have to eyeball it when you're done. Oh my gosh, excuse me, that's so gross. So yeah, just keep going on this until you get to your liking. I'll eventually add to this so when I do part 2, we're on the same page, but yeah, let me know if you have any questions.